Ooh, 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 ooh. This is gonna be something. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Eric Taylor. Tailored to you, Astrology. Back in the house, and I'm continuing my Secrets of the Sun Sign series. Today, we are talking about Gemini the twins. Gemini, the mutable air sign. Really from May 21st to about June 21st. You know, gets out of the cusp, more like the 23rd, but anyway. I mean, you know all the Geminis, from Angelina Jolie to Tupac to Andre 3000 to Prince to Kanye West to just so many more. My boy T-Rex, Shondell Doker, Lauryn Hill, Will Truth, my son. I know Geminis for days in so many ways. So this mutable air sign is ruled by the planet Mercury, right? It's the first air sign, third sign in astrology associated with the third house. The theme and the truth about Gemini, it's all about communication, curiosity, ideas. It's the mimic, right? It's about writing, speaking, the exchange of thoughts, right? It's the court gesture. They're funny, hilarious. Gemini is the first also of the mutable signs, right? You have Gemini, Virgo, Sag, Pisces. And it is the end of spring, ready to adjust and move and be flexible to enter summer. So what do you guys need to know about these people? They can be sneaky. They can lie. They are quick thinking. You know, we call them, I'll break it down, the verbal slut. And I say that as a term of endearment, but it's one of their best qualities. Because what Geminis will do is they will talk to anybody. At McDonald's, at the bus stop, at the grocery, you know, at the movie theater, the restaurant, the homeless person, the teacher, the professor, the preacher. They will just get input and information from any and everyone. That's what makes them great artists, what makes them great salesmen, marketing, acting, news reporter, TMZ, gossip. Geminis are about getting information, the ideas, and then sharing it, creating it, dispensing it. And Geminis, you know, a lot of them are good at business and entrepreneurs because they can like literally think of something and then create it, and it's a masculine energy, right? Air sign. And so they're gonna go out and pursue it and do it. Now with Geminis, just so you know, it's not like the horoscope, which goes back to Horus, all I seeing I Kemet, okay? But Gemini is, see, that's information, Gemini, Mercury. And, you know, they share Mercury with Virgo. Virgo's more feminine, introspective. Gemini's more masculine, action-orientated, and releasing energy. Very inquisitive people. But what I was gonna say is that the business side of Gemini, they can jack of all trades and really sometimes the master of all trades. You know, and the whole saying is like jack of all trades, master of none, but is still always better than being a master of one or something like that. Like there's more to it than what we were kind of programmed and brainwashed to think. And Geminis, so what you do in the natal birth chart, number one, separate from like looking at the silly newspapers, right? You need to know what sign Gemini, your sun, what house it's in. Because if it's in the first house, it's more egocentric, self-centered. Well, it's going to be different in the sixth house with the daily routine and work, or in the fifth house, the creativity and expressing from your heart, right? In the 10th house, achievement in the career, right? In the 12th house, it's more, in the subconscious mind, communicating in the ethers. So that tells a different story in terms of just the general sun sign. Plus, you guys, we have the deacons. So you're talking 0 degrees to 9 degrees, right? So we're talking like around 21st, 22nd of May, getting into June, probably like around June 2nd. That's Gemini, first deacon. Then you have Gemini Libra. That's around, June 3rd to about the 11th, okay? That's the Gemini Libra. So the Gemini is all over the place, all verbal, all these multiple personalities, women. I'm gonna get back to the deacons, ladies. Mira, escuchen, listen up. The Geminis, it takes them to about 35, 40 years old for the most part to understand. Gemini women literally have like 4 different personalities. Not exaggerating, I dated a bunch of Gemini women. Shout out, ladies, how are you? And they're brilliant, they're amazing, but they can switch up. Gemini women can be tomboys, they can be girly girls, they can be workaholics, they can be really creative and artistic, they could be great at sales, marketing, but they have like all these different moods and energies. The Gemini men, it's usually around 2 personalities, Getting back to the deacons, the Gemini Libra deacon is more about establishing relationships and partnering up with people, working in a team, stuff like that, right? And then the final deacon, Gemini Aquarius, whoa, crazy deep thinking. Even though it's bite-sized, they like to explore and research, and they're very much about their friends, extremely social, all about humanity, and really, really funny, okay? And that's more, we're talking like, June, 11th, 12th to about the 20th, 21st, okay? So those are the 3 deacons. Geminis, more so than Scorpio, and right neck and neck with Leo, they might be number 1. Gemini is very much, or is truly, a very sexual sign. Gemini's like sex, because it's the flirt, the prince, the playboy, the playgirl. That's the archetype of Gemini. You've been knowing this. So, they know how to kind of communicate, and the savoir-faire and the flair and the style, and they're funny, and they're fashionistas and fashionistas. They're very forward fashion. Like, they are going to be the ones to start the fashion trends, or they'll wear something that everyone else is wearing and then put their Gemini twist on it. They're like, they like twist it, make it like their own and dope. And think about Angelina Jolie, Andre 3000, like all these different stylish Geminis. Kanye West with his fashion. Prince was always like, dressing and looking different and stuff. So, it's something that you'll notice and you'll see. And they usually are very good with their hands. So also back to the Mercury, you want to see, is it in, because Mercury is only ever 28 degrees from the sun. So if you're a Gemini sun sign, Mercury is either going to be in Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer. Well, that will play out differently. So you need to look in the birth chart. If it's in Taurus, there's going to be more like a slowness with their speech and their response, how they respond, but they are going to be more artistic, more cultured, and they're with their hands, great artists, right? They might have a nice speaking voice. And, Mercury and Gemini, it's going to be more just, very heavy Gemini energy and highly intelligent, quick-witted. They might like gossip, but they can have some very nervous energy. You could even say like ADHD or things like that, whatever. But, I don't like labeling people, especially not kids. That's why I always tell you, parents, get a birth chart done, because the schools will just try to label the kid. And I can tell you, looking at the third house of Gemini of skills and elementary school and self-efforts of the style that they need to learn. You got to look at the Mercury, right? And the placement of the Mercury and the Sun and what's in the third house. Little insight and secrets, right? And then if it's, Gemini Sun with Cancer and Mercury, it's more deep inner knowing, more slow. It's not as trusting, a little bit more cautious with their friends about safety and protection and providing, nurturing, and caring. They can be a little bit more sensitive than the Mercury in Gemini or Taurus. Okay? A little insight for you, because I'm giving you the secrets of the sun sign. So let me tell you something. Geminis, they like it how they like it when they want it. It's their way or the highway. Sometimes the men, I don't like to generalize because you got to look at the Mars and the Mercury placement, but I've seen a lot of Gemini men can definitely be big flirts and they can cheat. Gemini women, they can be overly loyal to their own detriment. And unfortunately, they tend to like the bad boy. They see the guy who's in a relationship and mistreating his girl, and they want him. They see the guy who's unavailable emotionally and kind of like edgy and dark and mysterious. They want him. They see the guy on the motorcycle with the bloody knife and the glove hanging and a couple of hairs. They're like, ooh, the danger, I want him. I'm not saying they can't grow out of it and that some Gemini women don't appreciate a nice guy, but I've seen 65, 70% of them really get into some toxic relationships. And until they really go deep within and heal that Pluto and understand their Mercury and Venus, and really develop the true self-love. Because remember, Geminis are not introspective. That's the Virgo side of Mercury. Geminis don't look within. They're always projecting and looking out and talking, right? I always tell my son, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Cállate la boca. Sometimes you gotta escuchen, okay? So that's a big thing with Geminis. And they have a lot of nervous energy. I remember I had a girlfriend, she would always like talk with her hands and touch me. And my son, he does it too, but he's always talking, he's like, I gotta touch it, you know what I mean? They're very tactile with their hands, but like Prince, they can play, and Kanye West with the music production, they can play great music instruments, keyboard, piano, painting, art, designing. Geminis can really do it all. Think about Lauryn Hill when she picked up that guitar for that Unplugged album. Woo. God, Mystery of Iniquity, Adam Lives in Theory. Come on now. Shout out to Lauren. So, Geminis, you also have to understand, their intelligence comes out of the fact that they're not afraid to jump in and investigate and learn. So they do like research. They do like more bite-sized information. So instead of the novel, it's more like the tweet or the blog or the text. They're masters at texting. You'll find a Virgo will text you and it will be a longer response. A Gemini, it's trying to be one sentence, one word, and emojis and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny. I've definitely noticed that a lot. They have great sense of humor. And, when you really point things out to them and they have to be introspective, they have actually like really good, pure hearts, and they consider things like all the time. Like my son's like, oh, what about this charity? Or, oh, there's only 2 white rhinos left in the world and that's terrible. And this, you know what I mean? Like they pontificate and find out information all over the place about things all over the world. Social media is a big thing for Geminis. They're really good on social media. They just get it, absorb it, boom, dispense it, and it's quick. And sometimes when they're talking, they could say like a lot, like this and like that, and like it's more for when they're younger, but just in general, because their mind, it's like their brain moves faster than the words can come down the escalator and come out of their mouths. That makes sense? You know, and they're like, very good writers though. You know, good, you know, lyricists. You know, they have a hard time saying sorry sometimes, apologizing. And it's not that they're mean, they just, I don't want to say flighty, but it's almost like they just don't even realize like they did something to bother you or hurt you. Like they're not always present in that space. You know what I mean? And so you'd have to really get them in a one-on-one and explain how you feel. And then they can kind of be like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really fascinating because where other people and other signs kind of just get that and they might not care, you know, and they might be like, I ain't saying sorry to you, F you, you know what I mean? But like Geminis, they're not even really understanding. And then you point it out and then they're like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't my intent. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know? Geminis have a hard time sometimes sitting still. Unless they're being entertained and stimulated, like they can watch a 2-3 hour movie or go to a concert or a show. They love music. So they could be doing homework and schoolwork while listening to music or writing a screenplay and they gotta listen to music. Like they tend to like music and they're so creative. They're great dancers and singers and rappers and actors. I mean, think about so many Geminis like Lauryn Hill and Andre 3000 doing the music and the acting, even Prince with Purple Rain. And you know what I mean? Kanye West hasn't done so much of the acting, but you know, you'll see that a lot of Geminis have such versatility. That's a great word for Gemini. Quick wit, versatility, and agile, you know. They can be good athletes. You know, they're really kind of good at whatever they put their focus on. But the thing is, okay, let's keep it real. The thing is, they put their focus on so many things. So they don't always complete things. They initiate and don't complete, and they've got to like go back to it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that can make them seem a little flaky, but they're not. They're just, you know, if the brain's at 10, they're like on 12. They're just like, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And I met this person and they talked about this. And then, oh, well, you know, they said we should do this and I'm gonna go away for the weekend and then I'll be back. And then, oh, I wanna try this new restaurant. And you know what I mean? They love being in cities and going about and, you know, and they can be very flirtatious, like you would see Venus in Gemini. Love to laugh, very silly. And they know how to control and command a room. They're very good at like stand-up comedy too. And they really aren't afraid of anything. I respect that so much about them. Virgo Mercury and the Virgo sun sign energies has these fears because they put the pressure on themselves to be so perfect and then so critical and this and that. Gemini's not like that. You know, it's more outgoing and it's like, oh, so what? I messed it up. Okay, I'll fix it. I'll do it again. And you know what I mean? So there's more a lighter energy. It's not as heavy as Virgo. It's lighter. It's mercurial. It's in the air, right? Virgo brings the Mercury down to earth. Gemini is just like shooting it up and keeping the balloon and the kite in the sky and just like, you guys are amazing. Gemini sun signs. Some more secrets. They can be tricksters. They can sneak things and lie. They're pretty good, loyal friends until they're not. And that can just happen like that too. But for the most part, they're not gonna like try to do you dirty and stuff like that, you know. And their curiosity can take them into places that they might not be ready for. So be mindful of that. And if you're in love with a Gemini, you just have to constantly stimulate them, you know, throw them off with new things to investigate and research and question. not throw them off, I mean like entertain them, like pull them in with ideas and thoughts and information. You know, that works really well in the relationship with Gemini, because these people are freaking dope, you know, and that final deacon can be brilliant. That those people like June 12th to like the 20th, 21st, woof, yeah, very, very smart. Okay, so Gemini, I think I broke you down well. They can be very good teachers and principals as well, great art and music teachers. But sales and marketing, they're good at advertising. They know how to present things because they put a flair and a style on it, and they're so artistic, you know? So always be mindful and respectful of that. Like they get it, they got it, and it's good. You know, the talent, the skills, they can be very skilled, you know. I know my son was talking very early, you know, had his ABCs down, all his colors way before the age of 2, you know, and they just are, they have moments where they can be shy, but you won't even notice and recognize it. And they just tend to push through anyway, you know. But keep them laughing, laugh with them, listen to them. They're always going to be entertaining. You know what I mean? It's the Gemini way, yo, the twins. Oh, man. You know, relationships can be fun. It can be, I'm sure, extremely fun parents who are always on the go with tons of energy. And good people. They just got to stop the lying and lying to themselves. Because understand, Gemini, everybody else sees you. You're not fooling anyone. People just love you so much and are entertained by you so much, they'll let some stuff slide. But that lying, no bueno. Okay? And take the time to go deeper. Do your research, investigate. Get your Scorpio Sag on more. You know, especially the opposite polarity, Sag. Look at the big picture, not just the, you know, minute details. They're not focused on the details like Virgo, but Gemini, they can be very critical in the way they might do something. But that will be internal. They're not gonna like destroy themselves outwardly so you know about it. That's a Virgo thing. Geminis will be like, I'll think about it. I'm like, damn, why didn't I do that way and this and that or whatever? And they're like, oh, F it. You know, it's just whatever. You know, so understand that. Like, their self-criticism, it's internal. You're not going to be aware of it and hear it. That's really funny. And it's really true. So, Gemini, the twins, you're dope. And the twins, it's yin-yang, male-female. Remember, this is the messenger of God. That's why Mercury's only over 28 degrees from the sun. So they, you know, they can work it and go anywhere and speak to anyone. From the sun to Hades or Pluto to Jupiter to this or that. And it absorbs the Mercury energy of Gemini. It absorbs whatever sign it's in. Gemini is a masculine sign, but Mercury itself will be masculine in Gemini and then feminine in Taurus. You got it? You got it. Hi, Gemini. Hope I revealed some nice secrets about you. And speak the truth, stay in truth, stay curious with the ideas. You're freaking dope and amazing. And you got style and flair. Fashionistas, do it. Get your shine on, Gemini. We're here to watch. Embrace the stage. We want to see what you got. We're curious about you. All right. So Gemini, hit me up. Secrets of the Sun sign, tailoredtocoaching@gmail.com. Check out any of my services. You want to do a business birth charts, right? Relationships, synastry compatibility charts, regular natal birth chart, written report, live birth chart readings. I got it all. You know, my Mercury is charged for y'all Geminis, so hit me up. I'm ready. All right. All right, Gemini. Immutable air sign, Gemini the twins, jack of all trades. I salute you. Mad props, mad love, mad respect. And keep shining. Never stop asking questions and always seek the truth. All right, Geminis? The twins? Later. Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology. It can be really naughty too. You know what I'm saying? Bye, Gemini. Later.